Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Welsh Chess Chat. I'm your surprise opening guest tonight, I'm candidate master Alex Bullen. And yeah, we have a number of things on the agenda to get through. And with me tonight, we have everybody's favourite FIDE master, Mr. Johan Rees. Johan, how are you?
Yeah, okay, yeah. That little music intro got me giggling.
Yeah,
it was a bit Caribbean, wasn't it?
I didn't like it as much as the last one, I have to admit.
No, I didn't, but I liked the tune more. But yeah.
Well, so, there's development point for John, I think, at least.
He's mixing it up, isn't he?
Yeah, I mean, do we want to hear from John, or do we run through the agenda first? What do you reckon?
Nah, let's just keep him off for a bit, is it?
Keep him off, right? Tonight we'll let him build up the excitement before we jump into the Welsh Chess Union calendar and ratings. We'll be looking at Welsh Chess Union news. Cass still Need again. He made a spelling mistake. Should be Ned, not Need. Very sloppy. UK Blitz Championships results. Vitamin D. I can see John literally. He's correcting it as we go. I bet he's loving himself there. We'll talk about Vitamin D. Title Tuesday, League games. We'll be going to Johan for that. We won't be hearing from me on that matter. We're going to have a moan-free stream from Alex. Be looking at the London Chess Classic, even though it's got nothing to do with Welsh chess. And we will hopefully then have time to have some Caro Club. Even though it's tempting to leave him off stream, as I can see, he's just going to keep typing away in the background. If I don't bring him on, we're going to welcome everybody's least favourite FIDE master, Jonathan Blackburn. John, are you all right?
Yeah, thanks, Alex. Thanks very much for allowing me to be on my own stream. That's really kind of you. So you didn't like the countdown then? I've just seen this one actually. What about this one? I quite like that
was
one.
Good, wasn't it? That got me in the mood.
Yeah.
I'm
that
ready
was a bit more chessy rather than like going on holiday, right? So I guess the other one was more appropriate if, like, the Olympiad was just about to be in the Caribbean or something.
Oh, okay, yeah. I mean, The thing is, I actually didn't realise, but basically for the past few months, I've been using the same 4 or same 2 or 3 to click on. And actually, there's a show more option that I didn't even know existed. And there's I don't know, about another 50 that I could choose from to actually just mix it up a little bit each week. So, even though we've been doing this for a while, I'm still looking through. There's loads, actually. I could have a lot of fun doing this as well.
We could just have a show of just, these countdowns.
Yeah, just go for all the countdown options. I mean, maybe that'll be a different stream though from tonight, but yeah. All right, guys. Shall we have a look at the Welsh Chess Union calendar and go from that? I mean, obviously, everybody wants to. This is why people tune in, to be honest, though, isn't it? Really, to look at the calendar. I've also put on their news as well, so there's some pretty big stuff going on. But I guess we just have a quick review here. So, I'm in Liverpool on Saturday. To look at this junior team event. So North of England versus Wales. I'm actually bringing some players from my county, which is currently classed as the Midlands, just to try and help out the North, get a team together as well. And hopefully in the future, there'll be a Wales versus Scotland versus North of England versus Midlands kind of chess match to make it a whole weekend event, which would be really good too. But
do we know how the Welsh team looks for that? Is it sort of all the top juniors playing, or do you not know?
Do you know what? I don't know. I think they've. I think, as we mentioned last week, they've had obviously a few issues with it being a one-day event because Scotland pulled out, and to travel up to Liverpool from, say, South Wales, for example, just for 2 games of chess that are an hour each on the clock.
It's not ideal. It's not ideal, is it?
No, you're traveling more than you're playing technically. But I guess parents who do it will see. And I think with me being there on the day, though, it's kind of helped a few say yes, perhaps, because then I can maybe look at the games and hopefully maybe provide some ad hoc kind of comments and coaching as well. And good to see them. It's just over an hour for me to go to Liverpool. So I thought I'd make the effort on the day, since there's quite a lot of children that I know go into it. Okay, this one's got a star next to it. Does that mean that something's changed, or is it a star from a couple of weeks ago, the Bridgend Blitz? Are you tempted by this, Alex?
When is it's not for a
It's
couple.
like
I
a
don't
Tuesday or
decide.
something, wasn't it?
Yeah, I don't have to
Oh,
decide yet. It's on my radar.
I like this.
But I assume it's got to start next week because they update the entry list, so it's technically updated regularly.
Okay, well, Mr. Toszczek.
Pretty good turnout for Blitz. Like Sam and Joe, both pretty good Blitz players as well as Greg, so it'd probably be worth my while going.
Okay, and we've got no more stars down here to tell us if there's anything changed. So it looks everything good there. So let's move on to the ratings. We might as well. There's not much there. Hang on, did I click on that? Yeah, there we go. So any big changes? Oh, I clicked on the wrong one.
Right.
I clicked on the wrong one again.
Before next week, someone's going to have to help me tell me how to send in my results, because next time we look at the rating list, I want mine to be where it's supposed to be.
I love you say that. Like, you just need help with an email, Johan, right?
Oh, I don't know. It's just too much effort, isn't it? Like, what am I supposed to put in the email? Like,
you're a grown man.
I don't like emails. I hate email. Like, I have some. Like, I wouldn't call it a phobia, but it's like on the road to being a phobia of emails. I hate emails.
Is this why you never reply to any foreign sale emails?
I don't really look at emails. I don't like. Yeah, basically.
Right. So I'm interested in it because Alex has just kind of told you one of his biggest gripes with you there, Johan, that you don't reply to his foreign CL emails. He's even moaned to me about it, that you don't reply to the emails at the foreign CL.
Wait a minute.
Right. Yeah, don't worry. You've been the topic of our conversation, Johan, many a time.
But we chat like every Thursday, so it's like
it's not good
you
enough.
Want special treatment, so I have to send I have to send a group email to everyone else. I'm like, oh well, you want to ignore that, so I have to message him separately. I mean, I've said the team separately. Like, John can reply to an email.
I've said I'm playing. I've said I'm playing. What more do you want?
You want it in writing that you're playing.
In writing, okay.
Yeah.
Because I emailed him the first time and I followed up, and he's like, "Oh, that's not my email anymore. Here's my new one." And then next time I sent him an email to his new email, I just didn't get a reply. I was like, "Oh, I can give up."
Yeah, it's although I kind of get it a little bit, and I if I could do without emails, I would. But it is obviously a much easier. So, what should your rating be then, Johan? Is this going up or going down, or what?
Well, I've won a few league games, and as I was saying to you guys, the league seems to be quite strong here. Like, I played the 23 something this week, and they were mid to bottom table, mid to bottom of the table, like they weren't high up or anything. So, and then another 2100 and another 2000. So, yeah, I should be getting my points back probably.
So is that on board 2 or board 1? Okay, so board 1. So that's for a mid to bottom table team. That's really strong. I can't get that kind of opposition on board 1 up here.
I just looking at all the teams, I think generally everyone's going to be over 2100 all season. It seems so. It's pretty good.
It sucks playing in my league when they're all 1900, which is not too good. But yeah, I mean, it does make a difference though, doesn't it, when you're playing regularly against strong opposition compared to not getting that strong opposition. And we talked about that before. And I think, Alex, you kind of made a point about entering some events to try and get the stronger opposition. Is that right?
Yeah, I think I was just saying that there was a run of games I had where I basically didn't play a single person higher rated than me. But I think I played Johan some point in January who was higher rated, and I think I had to wait like 4 months till I played someone else higher rated than me. Yeah, and it's like if your league's not strong, then it's where to find those games. It can be difficult, right?
Yeah, and people don't tend to, when you get to a certain rating, you kind of get a bit more picky and choosy about what events you play in. So I'm guessing that's why you've seen these 2200 plus events come up and down. And I think there's one in London very soon, isn't there? 2200 plus. Oh no, that might be an IM Norm tournament, but there was one in Northumbria, wasn't there, that Tim played in? 2200 plus tournaments that seem to be quite popular, and they kind of allow 2100s in as well, and then they start lowering it when they haven't got enough entries. They start lowering down the bar, like 2 weeks to go, if you're over 2000 you're in, 1 week to go, if you're over 1900 you can get in, and so on. Okay, so good to see that going back up, Johan, because you're at some point we would have had the same rating this term, because I think I got up to 2334. So we clashed. Our graphs would have gone over each other. So that's how close you were, young man. Let's go in there. But okay, if I make sure I click on new here, and we can see not really many massive changes. I'm probably the biggest amount of losses, but Alexis obviously won a tournament with 4.5 out of 5. Probably played some league games as well. Okay, Alex is not good. Tim's gaining. Olivia's gaining. So not much change there. Look at the differences between that. So what's happened here then?
They cut it. Top 4.
Looks broken to me.
So is this a deliberate act then when I click on difference that it's the top 4?
Well, if you try filtering by something else and see if it just does the top 4 for those as well.
Great. No.
Oh.
Well, okay. Let's just talk about this then, because is this stayed the same? Last played 29th for the 11th. No, so Ruben has actually played since then, and Louise played on the 20th.
That's more than a week ago.
More than a week ago, but I don't think we clicked on their individual results though, did we? But okay, so this was Ruben, so we lost to Rohit recently, so he was even higher. He lost 5 points for that, but that's not a big deal when you're gaining 374 points, 379 points going down to 374. Can't complain. Louise 369. So I tell you, it's still close. You know, a 1 win here between Louise. You could pip it, and then Sam's put in the chat as well here. Just monitoring that too. That apparently Ruben beat us 1600 yesterday, so Ruben's going to go even higher. Wow, that's going to be pretty big. Arush having a great tournament, great season as well, coming onto the rating at 1206. If he doesn't play any more games, and Vince keeping it up for the adults. But okay, the big question that we want to ask: how far ahead is Josh McKenna?
Further. I'm going to go 81.
81 games.
Can't even remember what he was on. But
78.
78. I reckon he'll be 79. But I know he played a game last night as well, which won't be on yet. But
okay, well, let's have a look. Played 79 games.
Alex is obviously like in the fan club. He's watching his every game.
Oh, big fan of Josh McKenna.
But we are a bit concerned for him, aren't we? We are concerned for Mr. McKenna because while Mr. McKenna looks like he's got a
chess addiction.
Well, I'm not concerned about that at all, and we're not even concerned about his rating. We're fine with that. That's going to go back up next in the next 6 months. But is 9 games enough? If Mr. Ketz enters Hastings, which do we believe it? He's done before? Has he entered Hastings? Do we know?
He's not on the entry list. I mean, it's pretty. I think if you try and enter this late without already booking your accommodation, you're going to be pretty screwed over.
But Tim finds a way.
I mean, it depends how much he wants to overtake Josh McKenna. That's the only reason you'd play Hastings at short notice, right?
Can you imagine Tim's like, I just want to play the most games in a calendar year.
He's been getting grief off Josh McKenna throughout the entire 6 months ago. And I've got more games than you. I'm going to beat you. And then finally he plays. Well, okay, if Tim does enter Hastings, which we don't think is going to happen, then he's got a chance of overtaking Josh, but we don't think that's going to happen. So it should stay something like this, maybe with 1, 2, 3 games extra, perhaps, depending on the league.
Yeah, I mean, I think our league still runs for another couple of weeks till there's a short break over Christmas. So there's opportunities.
Okay. So
it's going to be opportunity for Josh, isn't it?
Local leagues, but my local league seems to take a winter break. Where you're like the Premier League, while we're like Germany or something now. We haven't got anything until like 25th of January. Isn't that mental?
That is strange.
Ages.
Yeah.
But we always have the opposite in Cardiff as well, where they always arrange them on like 23rd December, and then they have to rearrange it nearer the time because then the venues are open. So I don't know why they insist every year on like just doing it, and then you always have this like debate.
Could you answer this one for us, Alex? Because I think you know more about this than ever. So can you see the chat comment there that I put on the stream?
I can, yes. He has a title on the pairings because he earned a title by playing on the FIDE Arena. So it's not a particularly common title, right? Because he's an A. Is he an AFM or an AIM? AFM, I think, right? Arena FIDE Master.
Oh, is this like what Rudy's got or something?
Yeah. It's the same as Rudy.
Does that get you a free chess.com account?
I believe not.
No, okay.
Because otherwise they'd be entitled Tuesday, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
And there's going to be.
So this is actually going onto the FIDE arena. Is that just FIDE.com or something? I've never played on it.
Never played either. But I think you just need to get certain ratings, and then Josh told me I think once he got AFM, or is it even ACM, he just got that one without trying harder to get to the next one. So I'm sure he could have got the next one up, but I think he almost likes the fact that he's got the one he has. So it appears on chess results, and if it means arbiters get bugged for questions, then good.
I think you have to pay for the title apparently or something. So there's some extra information in the chat as well, which is interesting to see. But okay, great effort, Josh. And somebody's put that somebody got 84 games for East Glamorgan League. Apparently, is the record. So he needs to pull his finger out. There's not many more weeks left, and then as soon as January the 1st comes, we'll all reset back to 0 again, and the race will be on again.
I'm going to enter the race as well next year.
You.
Just to beat Josh McKenna. If he starts taking it seriously, I will.
So you're going to get all your league games.
I'll do a better job than Tim. I'm not going to mess around on 70. I mean, if I'm going to commit, I'm going to properly commit.
Okay, right. Wow. You've heard it there. He's going to commit to it. He's going to put some comments in it.
That'd be good to see.
Say goodbye to my social life in 2024.
Well, hang on. What social life? I mean,
no more Tinder. Unless you arrange a rated chess game.
you could do that, Alex. You can actually just have them come in like 5 or 10 minutes blocks just to learn how to play. And if they pick it up quickly, then you give them a second chance. If they don't, then just sack them off. That's probably the best thing to do. I'll advertise that for you, actually.
I'm sure you would. That's what's worrying me.
I'd have a nice picture of your face with a little heart going, do you want a chess date with Alex? I think that'd be fantastic.
Trying to learn how to mate is probably the...
Well, okay. Yeah, this isn't a PG show, so yeah, fine.
It's on at 10 p.m. That's after the watershed, mate.
I know.
I was talking about chess.
Big shout out to the juniors as well that have played a lot of games here, highlighted in blue. They're going to learn a lot from those games, which is fantastic to see in a 6 months period. And this is also cut off as well. We've actually got a cut off of 34 games. So you need a minimum of 34 to be on it. So the only one of 3 of us that are on it is Alex. But hang on, Johan, just going back a little bit here. If I click on this, so how many games will you've played? Oh, so it's only going to go up to about 15, 16, something like that.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I thought I've definitely played more. Oh no, this is since September or something, isn't it? Then no,
July the 1st
or something. Yeah, okay, yeah,
July the 1st. Yeah, okay.
Do you know what's bad? Before we move on, is that Josh McKenna has played about 4 games more than the 3 of us combined. Like that is when you put it in that perspective, because we've not. I know we've not all played that much. We had some breaks, but yeah, that's good going. I
mean, yeah, if you're playing every single week, it's just on top of that. Well, moving on from the ratings, well done to all of those people at the top. We've got some great news here. So, Casteth Neth, if I pronounce that correct.
Nev.
It's Nev, is it? Nev. Casteth Neth.
It's more like air, not net. Nev. I don't know why you just call them Neath, because that's what is in English.
Okay. Okay, that'll be easier. Well, really well done to them, because it looks like they've got something else going on here. We mentioned last week they had a pizza party. Well, the lottery just seems to keep throwing money at them, and I don't actually know how much money this would actually cost. There probably isn't actually that much cost for them. It would maybe 50 quid, 100 quid, I don't know. But it looks like they've had a Christmas party here where they've got a load of food on and spread. They've got a kind of like, I want to call it a giant chess set, but it's not that big, but it is a big one. The children will love that. And they just had a really good time as well. And they had a lot of children playing chess games against basically anybody, winning a lot of prizes along the way. So if you're looking for a blueprint on how to get children involved in chess, then this definitely looks like a really good idea. I won't be doing anything like this with my children. Mine will still be learning hardcore chess lessons right up until Christmas Day. We won't be having any of this fun nonsense, but no, fair play. Well done. And maybe the other clubs might want to get in contact with them just to see how they've done it. And because if you can put on something similar, then why not? You've got almost like what's it called? It's a precedent's been set that if the lottery will give money to these to run such an event, if you can run a similar event, then the lottery will technically give you money to do so. So that's a really good effort from them. Right, what's next up on the agenda, guys? UK Blitz Championships results. All right, I'm just going to make this picture a little bit bigger for people. It's not all of the Welsh competitors that we had in the tournament, but this is on the left-hand side, Jose Camacho, on the right, Daniel Kozazek. And this is a photo that they sent to me before the tournament began. Hopefully it wasn't afterwards. It was in the morning. And this sent in the morning representing Wales in the UK Blitz Chess Championships in the open section. We also had Emma Kong in the women's section as well. And I don't know about you guys, but when I was watching, I was quite pleased and proud of how they did. Were you the same?
Yeah, I think so. It was exciting to watch as well. Like I thought they
started off really well, didn't they? And
they didn't. They lost the first game, both of them.
Okay.
But then they got to 3 out of 4, I think it was, before hitting some stumbling blocks. And you can see here that the winner was Eldar Gasanov on 11.5 points out of 15, and he was closely followed by tournament favourite Amit Ghazi, and Andrew Horton was actually leading at one point as well, I think, a point behind. And then you've got some different names. John Spielman, really the only other GM there, as well as Keith Arkle, who only got 6 points. Saw an interesting comment from Daniel Gormali's Facebook post saying that he thinks that every GM and IM should maybe get an invite to this anyway, and then have it as one big Swiss tournament.
No, what a load of rubbish.
This is I actually think this is I think it's a genius format. It's absolutely brilliant. It's really good, especially because the end is all play all. There's no luck involved really, and as little as there can be at least. But because as soon as you start having a Swiss, there's a little bit more luck, who gets who when and stuff like that. But yeah, this is brilliant. The way you qualify everything, I think it's a genius event.
I really like it that they got the different qualifiers in different parts of the country, and then it makes it easier. And so, you do have weaker qualifiers than other qualifiers. That's just the lay of the land, though, isn't it? And it's kind of tough luck. And if you don't qualify, then you don't qualify to get in.
That's the thing, though. People have to put the effort in. Because, for example, Don came to Bridgend to play his qualifier specifically because he saw it was weaker to qualify for the final. So if you can't be bothered to go to Bridgend or go to the Scottish one that was the weakest, I think.
To be honest,
and you don't deserve to be in the final.
No, well, I mean, Daniel got 8 points and Jose got 7.5.
One of the best bullet players in the world, and he got 11th.
Yeah, well, okay, well, we'll look at that in a second. Daniel here, these are his individual results. So he went loss, and he went win, draw. So I think at that point, when he drew the eventual winner, he was joint leader or something like that.
Yeah. I mean, at that point, he's played the best two players as well.
Yeah.
That at that point, it's game on. And then the next game is
And then this
that's where it went
here.
wrong, though, in his Gasanov games, where his tournament collapsed. Because I was speaking to him, so he was completely beating Gasanov for 40 moves. He was completely winning some endgame, and then he messed it up and ended up drawing. And they just come off a break, and then he said he just fell apart for 3 rounds, and then he said if you fall apart for 3 rounds against maybe good players, it's not such a big deal. But then the 3 players he fell apart against are 3 he thinks he'd probably be beaten if he played them when he wasn't a bit annoyed. So he's a bit frustrated by that.
Well, those 2.5 points is enough to win the tournament, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, let's just have a quick look here then, see what he's on about there, because this is the game that, and hopefully, Dan, you're not watching this, hopefully, to relive this memory if it's a bad one. So where were we? Why can't I use an arrow on this? This is so annoying. Here we go.
You have to click the arrow,
No, he didn't play this against me, Gasanov.
Hang on a minute. So what colour's who? So Daniel's white against Gasanov here is black.
Rookie, what? Oh, right, yeah, it's defense bishop, right? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I thought this was quite bad for white, to be honest, when I was watching.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not too impressed either.
But it's splits, right? So it doesn't matter.
I thought it was as well, so I'm surprised that he said he was doing well. I thought.
Well, the game's 80 moves long, so.
Oh, hang on, he won a piece here.
It's just like at some point, right? Okay, so he's just, yeah.
Okay, but his king's still open here, so in blitz this is quite difficult to win.
Yeah, like I'd hate to calculate this with seconds on the clock as well. It's just ridiculous.
Oh my god, it's a mess.
Yeah, but he's got 3 pieces for a rook. Like he's just totally
such a mess.
But it's messy, isn't it? That's the thing.
So
it's
messy.
not easy. And now that the amount of pawns that black has is.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Yeah, but wait, now, like, come on, this is completely winning.
I mean, it should be, but it's complicated. You know, if I had 2 seconds left on the clock, I would.
Go back. He misses 96 check as well.
Oh.
Yeah, like, see,
that's an odd one to miss, though, surely, because you're thinking about checks and captures, right? The checks are the first thing you look at.
He's just like King F8.
Yeah, it's like.
Oh, I'm surprised. You'd resign, really, wouldn't you? After.
I mean, this looks like it's checkmate here, doesn't it?
Well, yeah, exactly.
Okay, it's odd. Yeah, it is odd to think that this ended in a draw. Oh wow!
And then he just can't find a mate, and the H.
What? Isn't King?
There's no check, mate, because Knight B6, King A7.
No, but just King D6, like, isn't? Oh no, so B7 needs to be covered. Well, wait a minute, King B6, King B6.
Hey, when?
Instead,
here,
yeah.
King B6, and then Knight C7 is checkmate.
Oh, but H2.
Yeah, it looks like it.
Hey?
No, it's King B6, Rook C8.
It's too soon. Oh, that's annoying.
But, I mean, the mate's there, isn't it? Probably a couple of moves back, maybe.
Yeah, and okay, and it just peters out. The pawn just gets down, does it? Oh, yeah, and he has to take the perpetual. So what we're saying, we think it's around here that the mate with King B6 was on. So not there, but here, if King B6, H2, and Rook C8, and then you're saying H2 is a problem because it can't be stopped.
Although, actually, no, actually, you can let's just go King B6, Rook C8, Bishop F4.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because you can't stop Knight C7.
So how does that? Because H2 you just take it, right? Okay. Well, unlucky there, Daniel. But that's what blitz is. I'm sure there's many other silly mistakes that happened here as well. But yeah,
I think it just depends what you're like as a person, right? Some people can just like have one like that and they just put it behind them and move on, and other people like get a bit down about it.
So yeah, I mean, he got 1 out of 4 in that kind of section, and even if he increases that by 2 points, that only puts him on 10 points.
Oh right, yeah, I didn't realize that was the final standing. So yeah,
so he
more than that. I must have missed a round or something.
Yeah, so he was 3.5 points away from Eldar in the end. So I mean, obviously the draw, if he takes half a point off Eldar and he wins, then that would be 8.5 to 11. So obviously a bit closer, but. And Jose, didn't exactly do badly. He got 7.5 points, only half a point further back.
And I think Jose as well, because I think he lost his last 2 Jose, so I think he was in a really good position.
Yeah, he was in a fantastic position. We talked about that slow start, losing to Gediminas, and then he went 3 wins on the bounce, lost, and then win again. So he was like really at the top, and then 2 draws kind of took him down a bit, and then 2 losses here to the eventual winner, one of them. Beat Jonah, beat Daniel in their head-to-head matchup, which I'm sure he's pleased about. He had 2 losses at the end, so he could have easily got even more points than that. And they were both really in contention, and I was really quite pleased for them actually, and pleased to see that Welsh flag right at the top and actually in with a chance of winning it. I think they actually had a really decent chance of winning this, which was great to see. But yeah, not to be. What are you talking about? The best bullet player in the world, or something like that, or?
Well, Joan has got like a 3,100 rating, isn't he, on chess.com?
Yeah, something like that. Doesn't seem
20,
like
2,900 blitz as well. 29 something. That's pretty
29.
high.
Well, I think as we know, Johan, from your games and even I beat a 2,800, that Blitz Online ratings don't seem to mean very much, do they? At times, it really does depend.
It's hard to get there, though, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
I can't imagine getting to 2,900.
No. Don't tell Kramnik, somebody says. We won't. But okay, well done, guys. Really proud of you. And we can have a look at the women's section as well. Final ranking. So this was, I think, joint winners, but Elise Daniel Dyson won it on tiebreak because she beat Bodhana in their head-to-head matchup. So Elise Daniel Dyson's the UK Blitz champion. But we some of our well-known names. So Eunice, half a point behind Alex.
Yeah, she did well.
Yeah,
she did well.
Did well. I'm pretty sure Elmira Mizuiva, she might have won it last year as well. And Camilla also has been playing a lot too, coming over. Carmel from my area, she did quite well. And then we've got Emma Kong, who got 4 points, which I think is more than what she thought she'd get before she went into this tournament. And I think she's gained 102 rating points, by the way.
I think that says it all, doesn't it?
Yeah. And so obviously lots of losses, a lot of hurts, but it looks like they had a spare player as well, and that's why they all had a bye.
Yeah, because Archima Grant didn't turn up.
But she beat Carmel in the last round, which was a really good scout for her 1,800. So it's a good victory. But
I think she did well as well. You know, when you lose a lot of games, which is always going to happen in all plurals, when you're the lowest rated player, it's easier to sort of like give up halfway through. But still in the last round takes down someone 500 points high rated, shows she fought all the way through. So kudos there.
Yeah, well done. I've not got much more to say about this, guys. Apart from Alex, do you have any more information about the tournament, how it went, and any information that Daniel gave you at all?
Well, Daniel he said he feels like it was a missed opportunity. He felt like he could have done better because he thinks that most people in the field were quite even, and on another day that the orders could be mixed up. He said the only thing he didn't like was after every 5 rounds there was quite a long break between 30 and 40 minutes. And he says in Blitz he quite likes to he thinks that he would rather just play 15 games in a row and just like have a run.
You get into a rhythm, didn't you?
Yeah. So. I mean, obviously you knew the format before he went, so that's the only thing he would have liked to have seen. But he said he enjoyed it, and I think the only other thing is comments that if you come 5th place, you win £150, and if you come last, you win £100. And he thought there should be like a bit more of a stagger.
Yeah,
because I think it's good that everyone gets rewarded for qualifying, but for there just to be £50 between 5th and 16th, he felt was kind of like a bit weird because it didn't unless you come in the top 4, it doesn't really matter. But no, I think he seemed quite happy.
Alex, you need to sort out your title, your name on here, because we know that you are everybody's favourite CM, but people can't see who you are. That is everybody's favourite CM is Candidate Master Alex Bullen.
I can't change it.
Can't figure out how to change it. I'm sure you'll figure it out.
Because it's my Twitch username. Because you made me log into this other link,
so I forced you. Right,
I don't have the skills. You'll have to help me, John.
I mean, I don't have any technical skills either, so
just watch Santa go across screen now.
I know it's great to watch the Santa, isn't it? Well, okay, so one other thing that we were talking about before maybe we should talk about vitamin D as well as going into some league games. I'll change that to AB/IR, shall I? That's Alex and Johan to talk about this. Somebody's got a photo of Alex playing as a junior. I would love to see that photo, Charnadara. If you could share that photo somehow, please send it in. Tweet us at Welsh Chess Chat.
What do you mean? Is that Alex? So this is somebody who has a photo of me but doesn't know who I am.
Yeah, obviously. I mean, I don't know. I think it's great. I want to find out more. So, Johan, do we have any games to share at all from local leagues, and we can talk about?
Yeah, I was gonna. Tuesday? I'll show you my game from this week because it was mental and it was a King's Indian, and also we were talking. Like I was asking you guys about. It's like a psychological thing, right? So, in terms of, I seem to at the moment very often see good moves and turn them down, and my only reasoning is I'm rubbish, like, so I can't be good. Like, and then I go put it on the computer, and it's like, oh, you should have played that.
Yeah.
So the one from Monday though was absolutely banging. It was such a good idea, such a good move or series of moves, and I just turned it down for literally no reason apart from I must have missed something. There's probably like something in there.
That's annoying.
Like, so I'll show you. It's a King's Indian. I wonder if you've got a bit of King's Indian sense, John. Maybe you'll see this idea instantly.
Oh, I don't know if I'll see things instantly, but we'll give it a go.
I'll just quickly play from the start then. So I did have a little go at H4 over the board for the first time.
How did it feel playing it? Were you fine playing it? Did you feel a bit embarrassed that?
Oh no, it's a really good line. Like, yeah. It's a really good line, and it just basically I didn't know the guy. I don't really prepare for league matches or anything, but I knew he was 23 something. But so I just didn't really fancy playing against a Grunfeld, so I thought this avoids it basically. So, I'm
surprised at H5.
Yeah, it's a way of playing, isn't it? I don't know how you go about it, but yeah, it's very reasonable to do that.
You can find out in the Welsh.
Yeah, so Bishop G5, using that G5 square that can't be bothered by that H pawn anymore. Bishop E2, castles, Queen D2. Played that. This was one of the only. I wasn't too impressed by that move. The computer wasn't impressed by my move, but I played these blitz games like online so much that I kind of roughly know where the pieces should be.
Yeah, Queen B6 didn't. I like to play it when the BT pawn actually threatens to take the BT pawn, but haven't you literally just played Queen D2? Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, so I don't really see the point of Queen B6, but yeah. So I guess. Yeah, I think most people sitting as black here, you think some sort of attack is coming, but actually what white wants to do is just stop you from doing anything. So A6, I just play A4. And the computer really doesn't says, I mean, this is chess.com's server doesn't like this move, but actually I think it's the best move in the position. Yeah, it's the whole typical idea though, isn't it? Yeah,
to do that and then go knight A6.
Exactly, yeah. So it's a common idea and actually is good. So it's not dubious at all. So knight here, and then I put knight back, E5, and then again the computer doesn't like my next move, but I do think it's probably the best move. Rook A3, because the idea is like it doesn't just stop this, but doesn't just stop. I can't do signs on the board, but it doesn't stop like it stops knight B3, but eventually this rook is going to come over here when I'm attacking that king. There's lots of pieces in the way at the moment, but it will, or at least threaten that. So this is the position, right, where I come up with a good idea. So he plays Rook A6, and I'm so happy with this idea, but I'm like just chickened out from playing it, which is annoying. So he played Rook A6, and his intention is quite obvious of like Rook B6, and then potentially Rook B4. So I don't know. Does anything spring to your mind, just out of interest?
I mean, Bishop takes C5 and D6 is what I'm looking at, but maybe something different.
I wasn't convinced by that. So,
no. What is your idea?
I think this is a good calculation training for if anybody wants like watching and it's like more of a high level calculation training. You can sort of pause it and just have a little look at the position. And actually anything from now on is a bit mental calculation wise. So you can really go to town on testing yourself. But so I played where is it? Because when your opponent has a bad plan, actually it's a good idea just to let them do it. So I need to let him do it, but while doing something useful. So my idea was to play G4. Which I played, and I was going to respond to Rook B6 with G5, and then when he moves his knight somewhere, like here, I play knight B5.
And his rook's trapped on B6.
And his rook is trapped on B6. And
if he takes the knight.
Yeah, but if he doesn't, I take on a5, and he's absolute bugger. So it's like it's a piece for a pawn, and that's it. But the compensation is that he's essentially a rook down, because that rook can never move, and there's no way out of it.
So just take the knight and just show people who are watching, because
and I can vaguely show you why I turned it down, because my initial because obviously I'm calculating not from this position, I'm calculating from here.
Yeah.
Initially, so sorry, g5 here, and my initial intention was to go like this, and I was pretty convinced like that I was doing extremely well here, and I was going to play it. But then I had a little check, and actually he can play a4, and I'm really not convinced that I can make any progress now. And I missed, from my initial calculation, I missed a4. So I was kind of like a little bit shaky in terms of, I think, oh, what am I missing type thing. So because I don't think I could make any progress after a4 actually. And
it's because the pawn moved from a4 to take on b5. It's difficult to calculate that sometimes.
Well, exactly. But the point is, like, I knew that I could take c takes. It's not ideal. I don't want to do that way, but still, I can. And I thought basically, he's going to go f5. I take queen here, rook here, and then bishop d2, which is really nice. So I saw all this, and literally I did not play it because I thought, it's a bit complicated. I'm not playing very well at the moment, and I probably missed something. That was my entire reason for missing it. I put it into the computer, and the computer's like, "You're a genius. Why didn't you put this?" It's the best line. Like, that's just what you should do.
But that goes on to something, though, doesn't it? You're talking there that one thing you mentioned, I'm not playing well at the moment, therefore I must have missed something. That I do feel that when I'm confident, I do feel unbeatable, and every decision I make is the right decision. But when it's not going well, I get into the same kind of thing as you there.
But it's nuts, though, isn't it? Like, to turn a move down, not based on calculation or intuition, because like basically we make our decisions on intuition and calculation. But this was like some third thing saying, you're a bit rubbish, don't do that. Like, you probably made a mistake. It's like, and this should have been such a nice game, because this is just such a really nice win. If I play it, I've basically won. And I had to slog out for another 2 hours to win this game.
I'm also disappointed in you not doing it, because it's not even like it's a FIDE rated game. It's a league game where you have the chance to be a genius.
Yeah. I still haven't got the respect of my teammates, though. I think, do you know what I mean? Like, I'm there, like, I'm new to the club and stuff. I don't want to be blundering pieces, and it was actually quite a good game in the end. It was like, I'll just quickly whip through it, but I turned it down with queen c2. Like, if I didn't see a decent alternative, then I wouldn't have. I would have played it actually, but I thought queen c2 was quite clever. And so he just went back and forth.
I'm sorry, but I'm just completely not buying into this rook a6, rook b6 stuff. It just doesn't fill me with any kind of hope that this is a
I think it was the right thing to do, because, like, in my head, actually, I felt a bit dubious about knight a2, and I actually thought during the game, and I was interested maybe to get your insight. Like, as a King's Indian player here, like, I'm not a King's Indian player, but I've played against it a lot. Like, I'm just thinking, I'm sacking that rook. Like,
sack the rook.
But essentially, if you're a King's Indian player, you're thinking, my bishop is terrible on g7. I need to somehow sack that rook and get the center open, right? So I'm calculating taking on g4 or d5 and sacking that rook.
Well, no, I think what I'd probably be scared of here is if you take on b4 and then take on c5, that I don't really want to take with a pawn. I almost want to take back with a knight, so maybe knight fd7.
So again, this is especially if you're a King's Indian player or whatever, this is fantastic calculation training, because I did sit and use my opponent's time and calculate here, and it's basically it's so impossible to wade through it and get the right evaluation. And essentially, the computer thinks sack the exchange and black is equal, but man, it's impossible to tell. black is a piece down at one point, like, and the computer was like, yeah, it's equal. And like, you're like, what? It's a great one for calculation, but I can see he spent a very, very long time and then played rook b6 because he obviously couldn't convince himself to sack it either. So,
do you know what's going on right now?
Yeah.
He's currently running his own stream, right? And he's saying, look at this sack that I could have done. Look at this sack. I was going to do it, but I didn't do it because had bad form.
Probably, yeah.
Hey.
But no, he spent a very long time and then he maybe chickened out as well. So I thought I was really happy with this rook c3 move. It's like a really quiet prophylactic move in a nuts position. So I was quite happy with that. It's just rearranging. And also he sacked an exchange here and I was like, nope, I don't want it. Thank you. Your rook is terrible.
Yeah, but for the dark square bishop, though, that's not exactly like, that's just so standard.
Yeah,
but for a knight, though, that's a little bit more.
Yeah, I was like, no, I want your knight instead. A little bit of wiggling back and forth. This was fun. And then it all kicked off when he had like no time left. I had no time left. It always gets messy in a game, doesn't it?
Yeah.
At one point. At this point, he was down to 30 seconds for the rest of the game, and I was down to 5 minutes. So it's a bit mental.
It's all without increment.
Without increment.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So
your league's still in 19.
Well, no, I think you can choose. So it's an hour and a half, no increment, or an hour and 20 with increment. So I don't know why the thing is, but.
So do you individually choose, or does your captain?
No, it was on the clock when I was there. So yeah. Again, the computer gives a question mark for that, but the reason for it is not, a human's not going to find it. So I'll just quickly show you the finish because it was clinical. I love the finish. So that obviously first is basic, but taking here with like seconds on the clock, knowing that takes queen here, king here, and then seeing bishop b5, he's got no way of defending against knight g4. And I was like, that was just so clinical. I enjoyed playing that because everybody was watching at that point as well. Like the entire club was watching. It's like, so yeah, it was just like unnecessarily clinical at the end, so sacking a rook there. But
it's interesting, Alex. I don't know about you, but you said there about how his club mates don't trust him yet and all this. Yeah, he's just describing a really nice finish here where everybody was watching. This really just shows that confidence comes into it so much. It's not just who is the best chess player, it's what form you're in at the time, what your confidence levels are like. Psychology plays a massive role in our game. Being in the right headspace to play these things is just so key.
I think that like over the last few months, I've realized like more that confidence is more important. I think it can make you play a lot worse if you're not confident. Like I think that is more clear now to me than it used to be. I thought it doesn't really matter, but yeah, now I think it is important.
I agree. I don't think it works both ways. I think having no confidence is bad, but I don't think having confidence is good necessarily.
Oh, having too much is bad for sure. But having too little, I thought wouldn't matter too much. But actually, I can see that I actually make bad decisions because I think I'm playing badly, while I'm actually not playing too badly. It doesn't make sense.
That's fair.
And we were talking in our own chat group about do we have a different abilities when it's the winter compared to the summer? And what's the theory behind this, so to speak? Do we know?
Well, it was just like it feeds into like literally just what I said about confidence, right? So like if you're not very confident, then it can make you reject good moves, like I just said, like in that last game. And like for some people, that's probably more likely in winter because it is a recognized thing, right? So some people feel more down in winter. It's to do with sort of, lack of sunlight and all of that. And I think, there is a biological thing to it, partly to do with vitamin D. I guess that's why you've got it down in like, So I think, the science behind it's not like so robust as some other things, because I guess there's no money or anything in it. Nobody dies from it. But like, people do heal worse when they have low vitamin D levels. And I think the evidence was building for that, and it's more likely in winter, etc. So yeah, I can sort of see why potentially some people might play worse in winter.
And there's quite a high variance between, do we think, maybe a high variance between different people? So, for example, let's say I could be just static all the way through, doesn't affect me, summer, winter, whatever, whereas Alex could be great in the summer, but terrible in the winter. And maybe we should even look at and suggest that somebody does some stats analysis on this to see if there's actually a case, probably taking the top Super Grandmasters because they play so many games to see if there's actually a big impact. But then again, they probably live in countries where it's not going to be summer and winter like we know it.
So, well, I guess they travel more as well. The top guys probably travel more. So yeah, it's not such a thing, I guess, unless you're stuck in one miserable country where it rains all the time.
I think the problem we now have is that now that Johan's mentioned vitamin D, even if it's a load of rubbish and he's just spread fake news, like everybody watching this is going to go in and buy vitamin D supplement tablets because they're going, it's going to make my chest better. I'm going to be so good for winter.
Yeah,
I always used to recommend it for patients and stuff. Like, you don't lose. Like, it's not something that, apart from like a couple of quid, whatever it costs, right? But like, it's not something that you can lose and you could gain. So yeah, I personally take vitamin D, especially in the winter. Just
on a slightly different point, we have a little comment here that too much confidence is simply arrogance. Do we know anybody who's like this?
Oh, there's hundreds, aren't there? Tons of chess players who are arrogant. But the worst for me.
Hans is pretty bad, isn't he? He's so bad.
The thing is, Hans is at least a good chess player. The worst are the ones who are arrogant but not good at chess. Yeah. Like that combination. It's like someone, like.
But that's more entertaining.
And they're like, bottom seed in the tournament, strutting around. You're like, what are you doing? Like,
what I love is when people actually want to analyze with you afterwards, and they tell you how amazing. Like they basically. Like they've just got they've lost, and then they want to analyze, and then they just they want to play variations to the end and stuff. Oh yeah, my moves are great and stuff. Like I just got unlucky. It's really funny.
Yeah, that's can I call rank here? Forget London Chess Classic, right?
Okay.
Welsh chess. But I think we need to see Johan's title Tuesday game, right? We showed his game against Goriachkina. I mean, the Welsh chess need to see his game from Tuesday, surely.
Well, you want to see it, don't you?
I want to see it, yeah.
Well, but I mean, this is huge, right? Like, you're not just playing any.
It would have been if I won.
Yes, round one. Yes, of course. I forgot.
Yeah, exactly.
I completely forgot. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So for everybody watching, the London Chess Classic is on. It's not in Wales. We don't care about it. Although Hans Niemann is playing in it, and I was actually going to pull up a photo of their entire team because there is a photo of him there, and he's got this big red watch on. And I was just going to say, does he take it off for his games or not? I don't know. But Johan, we've got to see your game. Either you share your screen and go through it, or I find it and share it and go through it.
I've got it on if that's easier.
Yeah. Let's have a look at this. So have a guess in chat who you think Johan played against in Title Tuesday. If you don't already know, of course, so it would actually be a guess. And he beat Goriachkina.
Yeah, well, obviously I beat the women's world FIDE champion last week, and this time I had a little pop at the men's one.
He's not though, is he? He's not. He's not. He's the past world champion.
Yeah, but Goriachkina is not female world champion either. She's FIDE, whatever it's called, right? Like, what's it called? The thing that they in Azerbaijan that they won a couple of weeks ago.
Oh, the World Cup.
World Cup winner. She's World Cup winner, wasn't she? And Carlson was World Cup winner as well. So
she's a challenger, wasn't she?
No, she won the World Cup though.
She won the World Cup. Yeah.
Has she played the World Championship match though? She played against Ju Wen Zhen, didn't she?
Yeah, she did.
She did. Oh, did she?
She lost the last game.
Okay.
Yeah, because she was winning at one point, I think.
Yeah, I think she was quite young at the time. It was a good while ago.
Yeah.
It was like pre-COVID.
Because she's still really young now, isn't she? Like just early 20s or mid 20s at the max.
She looks young anyway.
Yeah.
She's mates like that, then she's
she's not going to be world champion. But yeah, so
before you show the game, when the pairing comes up and you saw you're playing Magnus Carlsen, like what was your reaction in that moment? Were you buzzing, or were you just
I did write I wrote in the chat to you guys. I said, I said there's a good chance I'm going to play Magnus. Because I purposely, I mean, basically, I've lost like a shed ton of rating because I was nearly 2,600. I was down to like 2,450 or something, right? And about half an hour before Title Tuesday, I thought I'll log on and play a few games because if you're around 25-12, then you play the top seeds. So I thought
he's been stalking him.
No, I know it because I used to be around that, so I just missed them or whatever, and so I knew roughly that's what you need to be to play the top guys. So I thought I'll log in half an hour before, play a few games, and get my rating up. And so I did, and so I went up about 60 points in half an hour, and then I just stopped. I stopped there just before Title Tuesday.
That was your gamble. I love it.
But then I just got absolutely crushed. So
71% accuracy. You've had a shocker.
Well, this is where he threw me. He played E4 because he always plays dodgy openings, doesn't he? He took me seriously. He was like, "Oh, got this Welsh guy. He beat the women's world champion last year. Better take him seriously." So,
yeah.
Anyway, I thought.
Good choice.
I actually thought for a bit because I thought, "Ooh, what am I going to do?" And then I thought, Alex would be happy if I play a Caro.
Oh no,
Alex is happy. Yeah.
No wonder you lost.
I thought we've got to take Caro Club seriously, haven't we? So get some content.
Good commitment.
So he played Bishop F, and I've never. I don't know what I'm doing. So, and then I was like, oh, I don't know. I don't feel comfortable about moving this bishop out. I don't know why. So I did. And then I immediately regretted it after Queen B3. But actually, it's not a good move, apparently. And I just basically lost my composure. I just go Queen D7. The problem is I play this sort of thing on the white side, like in Slavs and things. And the knight is normally on F3 and you can't go Queen D7 because of knight E5 stuff. But this is not on here. So
is it not scary though? Like it wanted Queen D7, knight F3.
So A6 maybe.
F6 apparently.
F6.
Yeah. But now I know that, but I didn't at the time. So I play Queen B6. And then he actually played really badly and it kind of threw me. So I just played normal moves. And then, at this point, I was like, he hasn't played too well. I think I'm okay here,
Yeah.
And which I am. And he hasn't played that great because I've literally played awful moves. And, he just keeps playing bad moves. And then I just completely just dropped a piece. I was like, oh, crap.
What? You moved your bishop and he went...
G5, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Oh.
Well, again, I could have got out of it, but yeah, I just I think if I was playing anyone else, I wouldn't have dropped that piece. But yeah, it's a bit of a shame. But I'll just have to make sure I'm the right rating. I thought I'd allow him to mate me just for fun, so I took it.
Did he rook?
Yeah,
he queens.
No,
he should have rooked.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah,
how could you have got out of losing the piece, by the way?
Well, it's pretty. I can go knight E4, can't I? It's pretty easy to see, really. If he takes now, I take.
Okay.
So, I guess that's what happens when you play the greatest player of all time. It just puts you off a bit.
That's what he's doing, though, isn't he? He's just getting the playable position and then just waiting for the basic mistake to come through.
It was obviously, he was just warming up. But I got a decent score to help him out with tie breaks. So
did he go on to win it, or?
Yeah, he won. Yeah.
Okay, so because of his victory against you, then that was probably the key game, I should imagine. Yeah.
I think I probably got, because he had a massive tie break score compared to everyone else, and so I think I probably got a much higher score than the normal first round victory or something. I don't know. Right,
well, let's hope that you keep playing against these players then and see who you get next time around. So you're going to go for a rating of 25, because 25-12, did you say, roughly?
Around that point is where you get the top guys, yeah.
Yeah.
I think we want him to play Naka, so because Naka will just disrespect him on stream.
Yeah.
Like Carlson probably disrespects him, but in private.
Yeah.
Naka would just be like, "What's that? This is terrible. Why has he done that?" Well, this is just a terrible move.
Oh no!
And then if you play well, he'll be like, "Well, he's clearly cheating."
Yeah. No, it was. It's a bit sus. That is a bit sus. That's what they'll do. Is there anything, just before we go, has there been any more cheating allegations? Any update on this whole saga?
It's constant now, isn't it? It's constant.
Because Hans Niemann did very well in, where was that tournament that he did well in?
Tournament of Peace.
Tournament of Peace.
Peace did not break out after the tournament.
No, and now he's. But the thing is, though, he did really well over there, and then he's come over to the London Chess Classic, and he actually lost today. So he's on 50%, I believe. I'm just
played quite badly as well. So
yeah, so it's
very odd to have such a big discrepancy, isn't it? But it's really like I think what the tournament organizers said was just awful. Like you can't just say, "Oh, there's been suggestions of cheating," not say what it is. Like I mean, that's just awful. They should never run a tournament again. That's like.
But the thing is, I think this is how it's run. This is just how things are running in FIDE and the world.
You can't say that. Like, like whether you think, I don't like Hans, but you can't just insinuate someone's cheating, like, and without, it's just.
But you can now. This is the problem. Because if you stop them organizing tournaments again, you also have to ban Carlsen and Nakamura from playing chess forever because they started it, right? They set the precedent and nobody disciplined them. So now everybody can accuse them of cheating. And if someone disciplines them, they'll say, "Well,
do you know how the story played out, though, Alex? Is not what I was expecting, because I did, like, as I said before, like this Hans story is weird, right? Like nobody goes from an average 2400 player like to 2700 in no time at all. He didn't show any special talent like at all ever. And I know he's young, but still, like juniors these days fly from a young age, and he's like 18 at the 18 he's 2400, just like in the middle of the pack there, and then suddenly 300 points later, and with some very, like, I know I've told you guys about these games, like, but there was some very suspicious, like I don't know if you've seen them, but like proper computer moves in over the board games, like that you can't explain if you're a human. Like, I would be surprised if he hasn't cheated over the board based on those games.
Oh, me too, absolutely. But you can't say it until you can.
But I think that's where, though, that I disagree with you. I think it's not a case I'm disagreeing with you. I'm agreeing with your point that we shouldn't be accusing somebody without proof. Yeah. But the key thing is that's in our culture. In different countries, there's different cultures that take hold, and where you can get away with so much more, you can say so much more. People are completely different in the way that they approach things. And so, for other people, it's a perfectly normal thing. So there's none of this kind of being ethical and being nice. You say it how it is. And people around the world are different. And it really shows here in how you perceive this kind of thing. I haven't seen those games, by the way, so I'm still on Team Hans. But
I mean, do you know, when we're talking about proof and stuff, like, I think actually... I think a game like that, like what I'm talking about, I'll find it and show you, John. But like, I think that kind of game doesn't require, I don't think you require a search or whatever proof. Like, it's up to the player to explain how they come up with that over the board when it's that computerish move. I think if it's an absolutely outrageous, like, series of moves that you have to foresee far in advance, all of this stuff that only a computer can do, and you do it over the board, I do actually think that you have to explain it in an interview afterwards, like how you came up with the idea. Because I think if you were human, you could explain it, and if you were cheating, you couldn't explain it. You can't know what. The ones I'm talking about is like it's so impossible to come up with as a human. You actually couldn't think of an explanation, even knowing the answer.
Yeah. Okay, well, any other comments, Alex, Joanne, at all before I... Do you have any other Caro Club games that you wish to show for this part of the stream?
I don't think it can top playing world number one, can it? I guess. Like
no.
No. I mean, you did disgrace the Caro, by getting absolutely owned in it.
Yeah. Although I wouldn't say it was the opening that lost that game. It was my inability to do basic calculation.
Yeah,
that comes with being a Caro player, doesn't it? That's why we pay the Caro, so we don't have to calculate.
Oh god. Right, okay, well, thanks everybody for watching, and if you like what you've heard, just please click us a follow or a like or a subscribe or whatever that button is for us, so we can do more of these videos. I think we're very close to being an affiliate on Twitch. Actually, we're very close we're up to 49 subscribers or followers, which is pretty good. But if you're watching on YouTube as well, we're growing that too, so it means that we can do more videos and more streams like this as well, and put some more effort in long term. Of course, if you didn't watch the interview with Joe Fatala on Monday, then by all means you can catch that up on, I think it's still on the Twitch videos, but it's also on YouTube as well. But again, thank you very much, Alex, for joining us, and Johan, thank you very much, and we'll see you all next week. Bye-bye, everybody.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.